I just love in that one scene where Baze Malbus shoots the AT-AT and he shoots him, and then it turns like that, just like you see in the trailers, and then it goes back like this, like it just kind of reminded me of something like that when that scene went on. So guys, these are spoiler talks for Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. You guys know how I do my spoilers now. I give a little bit inside thoughts of what I thought. I might not go through the whole thing. These reviews I give a chance to probably lower or upgrade a grade to depending on how much I like the movie after seeing it multiple times. So now you guys been warned. It's just spoilers. I'm not gonna restrict myself. So we get an opening call with Rogue One, which I was wondering how we were gonna work that out. It worked good. I think I missed it. It wasn't jarring though. It worked good. I like how we just went in instantly, like there's not hold back. But the way they picked out the visuals, the way they picked out the first scene for the movie, kind of made me forget for a second that we didn't get a crawl. And it starts out with Jyn Erso having a little bit of backstory, kind of like we see in the trailer. She's the little girl. Her father gets taken. Her mother is there. We've seen probably in one of the trailers the Kyber Crystal. She's like believing the Force, and I had a feeling that maybe she's gonna take the bullet at the beginning. She did. She at first wanted to keep her family safe, but knowing who Orson Krennic and how the Death Troopers were, they're like, take her out and then just take him. They try to look for Jyn, but then Jyn goes into hiding where her father told her to go, and that's where she waits for Saw Gerrera. I thought that was a good intro scene. Like, really, that kind of really immersed me into it. I like how everything looked. It had the emotional ties. Just for a couple of seconds, I already knew, I felt something for this family. They feel like they're wear and tear that they're coming for him. It's cool seeing how Saw Gerrera, this is what I meant, he wasn't just this old guy they needed to visit to for Wise of Eyes. He was a part of the family. He helped them get out and from the Empire, and so now that they're back, he takes over Jyn. So I like seeing how he kind of worked for the story. And then we get the logo Rogue One. I kind of wish that at that point then we put the logo. Why don't we put that in the beginning, kind of like how we didn't have the Star Wars logo, but we could have started with that one or something, and just get a little synopsis like from the book Catalyst or something. So we get the title, and then Jyn's all grown up now. They tell you stories what she's done, but really we start out with her where she's already arrested. So I kind of want to know what she did to get arrested. But they start her up there, showing her that she's not this all nice person. She's gone roughed, and they save her. And then we get this introduction with K2. So he's so funny. He's like, congratulations, y'all being rescued. I was like, I could tell that with that one scene. I was like, this robot's gonna be something special. And then we get other introductions. Like we eventually get she gets taken to Mon Mothma. They explain a little bit how they got a message from her father. You get Captain Cassian Andor, which also his intro at first I really dug. I don't know if that was Coruscant. We were in Coruscant, but then we got to like the underground world of Coruscant, and that's where he was. He was trying to get message, and this is where we kind of know his character. Where once he got the message, he shot that one person because he was kind of basically. He couldn't climb and to escape like what Cassian did, so he needed to get him off the map. And it shows that like he is like this, he's the rebellion, but he's this gray area that they need to take sometimes to get the job done. And that little scene for Cassian I liked so much. I was like, okay, so we're following this person, but he's not all squeaky clean. And we get them started first. They get to know one another. And then they talk it out how they had these plans, and Jyn wasn't sure if her father was alive at the time, but you can tell, especially Felicity's part, that she has this emotional just reaction to it. And then they go to Saw Gerrera's, which they're going to Jedha. Like that really felt some kind of like very war-esque, like that feels something really you see nowadays with what's going on like in the Middle East. And it was great seeing a depiction of that, them trying to go around it to get to Saw. And then you get Chirrut and Baze, which as French, they felt like they're friends. I like seeing their dynamic duo, their chemistry, and then we get this awesome shot with Chirrut. He's trying to let them tell him to pass in peace, but then he fights off the stormtroopers. He's badass, especially how he's just this mixed martial artist guy. I like seeing him trying to fight around in the Star Wars world. That is badass for his character. And once they all get captured, they go to Saw, and then that's where Jin gets more character development, where she talks about how Saw raised her, but then he they starts realizing who she was, kind of, so he had to drop her off somewhere. It's crazy. You can tell that this kind of crazy extremist person raised her, so you can kind of see who she is. And and then we get Tarkin. Oh my god, I would have thought Tarkin, they would bring him back, and then they just got an actor in the CGI, and it looked spot on. At first, I thought maybe the CGI was so, but I got used to it as it went on. There's these personal, interactions with Krennic, and then he tells him, well, then show us the Death Star, give us a little proof, blow up Jeddah. They blow up Jeddah. The way it's set up with blowing up Jeddah, it was really like amazing, like wow. And then they have the good guys, the rebels. Jin and Cassian have to escape, and they do go on, but then you see how impactful the Death Star laid the ground on Jeddah. And then Tarkin just wants to take back his what he thought was his credit at first, but Krennic's like, no, I worked on this now more than you. I deserve the credit. I deserve standing ovation from the Emperor and Lord Vader. And I love that little intensity. It's kind of great seeing that. I'm glad Tarkin was in this to imply Krennic and just have this heated rivalry going on with the Empire. I will say, though, I kind of missed the Empire's theme. I don't know why they didn't play it more. The theme they chose was good. I just kind of wish, this was a chance to show more of the, Imperial March, the Empire theme. And then, they go on. And then this is where it starts feeling a little bit more Garrett Edwards-esque, is when they try to go to Edu, I think, and that's where Galen Erso is. They go all around trying to sneak their way, try to see how Cassian wants to take out Galen. Krennic comes in. They talk about how, he knows who got the message now, and how they sent the pilot to go to the rebels. And as Cassian is trying to make that decision, he realizes that he doesn't want to do it. So it's kind of cool that he was like this killer, but now he's trying to have second thoughts of not maybe trying to be too much that, and he's trying to show like he has some regrets, and he just decides not to. But then, they come in, and the Rebel Alliance, they come in and they shoot the place down. Galen gives some final words to Jen. And, I thought that was just very emotional. I'm glad there was a scene that, showed the daughter and father relationship before. Because I thought if they didn't have that, I feel like it kind of missed it. You needed one scene at least at the age they're at now. But that part really felt very, like, the Garrett Edwards part, like the middle part of how Godzilla was, where they just keep going around hunting, and it's like a rainy, dark day. And then, and I love the movie as a whole. It's just, I think the first and third parts really were my favorites. The third part, when it kicks in, we have a little introduction, a little like gather up again, like a warm up, like The Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi. And, you see more Bail Organa with Mon Mothma. And they mentioned a little bit of Obi-Wan. I was like, yes, that's Obi-Wan. So they're going to, notify him, tell him that they need their help to fight off this war. And then and then it's just cool, you get to the third part of the act, and it's Star Wars drenched. I love seeing the space battles, the war that's going on in Scarif, and it just feels something mixed with old and new. And maybe just because Admiral Addis reminds me of Admiral Akbar, but it just felt like the battle scene from Return of the Jedi. I just love seeing that. It really put a smile upon my face. Seeing a little bit of the first person shots, I wish we would have saw more of that. And then the war on the ground, something that that's what was kind of marking this, the first time you see something like that in a Star Wars movie. It felt like the stakes really were there, and everything was you weren't sure how it could have ended up. And then Jin and Cassian go get the plans. They realize that the plans are named after Jin. So it was kind of cool seeing how the Death Star not only gave a reason why there's that one weakness to shoot it out in A New Hope, but it made it feel integral, like it was an Urso product, the Death Star. So now, looking at it more, it felt very humanized, that this, weapon that they had. And I like that tie-in they had with the Ursos and then the Death Star. And then, the resolution that came with A New Hope, realizing that Galen purposely put that there. So that, I thought it did so well. And then, I was wondering, are they gonna kill off other characters? Are they gonna have some of them escape or something? But no, Disney went out hard and just killed everybody. Bodhi, Base, Chirrut, he's believing with the Force has one final walk, try to save to get, the plans up, and then, once he's done, they shoot him and he's out. Base finally believes in the Force. And, they didn't go back. It made it more emotional. That's why I kind of wish I had a little bit more character development, because I think it would have hit harder. But, seeing it a couple of times, it still hits hard, seriously. And then, Jyn and Cassian, once they think they shot, the director Krennic, they go out to the beach and just have one last good time, hug each other before the Death Star takes them out. Tarkin realizes that the plans are there. He kind of, I think, behind the scenes, he knows Krennic's there too. So he's like, we gotta take out that planet. And, Krennic has to go out by the planet he's so rightfully. You just felt, and Giacchino's score really hits hard in this part. I like this part when the emotional scenes are going down, and I feel like it really works so well. And yes, guys, really overall, it was a satisfying product. I liked how it tied into the original A New Hope. I like how it had a blue bridge to, Revenge of the Sith. And, K2SO was one of the standouts. I like, he had this kind of like Terminator relationship with Cassian. He has to save the rest of the crew for the greater good. Cassian had his, gray area. He wasn't all squeaky clean as a good guy. Jyn, her family basically became integral with this Death Star. And all these supporting characters, they're all worked well. I just want to see them written out even better, even more. But they were still characters I rooted for. I like how this didn't hold back. The characters matched the tone of the story of the film. So in that aspect, I like how they were presented. And now we need to get into the bonus round. I wanted to wait until the end. Let's talk about the two crucial Darth Vader scenes. The first one you get with Krennic. He's talking to him, how Krennic wants all the attention, but Darth Vader's like, don't be like basically like so immature about it, and you can tell he's pissed off when Krennic's trying to blame others, and he's giving him a warning, but he doesn't want his foolish actions to get out of hand, or what's gonna happen when Vader basically relieves you of your duties. And then we get that final shot where Krennic's still trying to tell him he's in charge. He feels so much weight, like the Force, and then it shows Vader turning back around. And this is a line I Rex did like. He was like, "Careful not to choke on your aspirations." I like that because it reminded me a little bit of the Vader, like, when, the Imperials are trying to explain to Vader, and like at episode 5, and he's like, "Apology accepted." It just reminded me of that. I didn't find it, all like cringy or whatnot. I actually felt like this still was Vader. It was good getting a little bit of humor out of him in that. And the shot, the scene they set it up for. Mustafar. I can tell it's Mustafar. They didn't show the name because they want to know this is a Vader scene, but it was great seeing Mustafar back. It's all worn out. Like, all the fire is mostly gone, but, it made sense. This is where, the monster was created. Why not have his home here? And I love seeing that. But then the second scene that really made it, because even though I like that one scene, if that was all we're going to get Vader, it was really disappointing. But this is where it makes up. And, you see the rebels get the plans. They got him downloaded. They get him into this like floppy disk. They try to take him out, and then they're all running to give it to, like, the final spaceship, the aircraft that's leaving, and then the door can't open. The lights dim down, and that, in the darkness you hear the breathing, and then the lightsaber comes out, and then I like the actors they chose. They felt very scared. I had goosebumps everywhere. It's just like, they all try to shoot him, and then Vader just starts deflecting. He takes their weapons away. He chokes one out while throwing the other one into the scene and slicing him. I was like, yes! This is a part where I was fanboying out. I was like, this is the Vader we want. This is the Vader that we promised. And that is one badass scene. You're just taking out, rebel troopers from left to right, kind of get a little bit like that Kylo Ren where he kind of holds the blaster, but in a way where he sends it back, kind of like what he did also with, Han Solo in episode 5. And then the music is just very incredible there. It, feels like right there, like, the Darth Vader music that we kind of get when, he causes terror. And, this is the scene I really wanted to see. And then, as the spaceship leaves, he's right there. And then you hear more of the Imperial March, his theme from the Empire. And that was a final great shot of Darth Vader. I don't know if we'll get him in another movie, but what a way to go out with this, at least. This was an incredible shot. I just love how everything was said, how, they were like saying help us, but then they're like just take it. They realize you should fuck with, and then we get that last shot where the rebels finally give the plans and they go into like the front door into the main, you know, where people are driving the ship, and then you see the cloak figure, and then behind it's Leia. You're like, that's Leia. They're gonna show her face, and then they show her face, and they're telling her, they're like, what is it? What is that thing that they gave to her? Then she's like, hope, and then it just goes off, and then boom, that is your movie. I just love the way it tied in, how you could that made me want to watch A New Hope after. It fits so well where it went straight into that movie, and it was just, especially those last 10 minutes, it was just an incredible movie. And I was excited realizing like, oh, they did a good job, like how they kind of now they completed the movie with the two movies and tied them together. It feels like one long piece now. I watched it a couple more times more. I let this marinate now. This movie is really something, like seriously, like just with me probably wanting to have more character developments, some scenes that probably didn't need to be there, and a little bit of better dialogue with a little bit of like acting that needs to be better polished. I still overall love this movie so much. It did expand a little bit of the mythology. It gave us a nice bridge from 3 to 4. It really emphasized on the war part of the movie. It tied in so well as like a well-log piece out with A New Hope. It's a movie that when I go see it more times, I feel like I'm just gonna appreciate it even more. I stand on the A+, just because in the way of like what it did. You guys could tell me why you gave the grades that you chose. It's just as like a Star Wars movie, the way it was built on, and it helped kind of other films also. I just appreciated that, and overall, it's just it's a standalone movie, but it feels like a part of the rest of the films and the universe. So let me know, guys, what you thought of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. You can spoil anything you want in the comments. This is the spoilers review. All in the comments below. What's your grading? Why did you give it? As long as you give me a constructive feedback of whether you hated or liked the movie, I will understand. And as always, roll on Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.